Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Running Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Big Mike, and I am joined, as always, by my tag team partner, Sped. How you doing tonight, Sped?
I'm doing great, man. How's everybody doing? It's been cold up here in Pennsylvania, and I see Alabama got some snow.
We did. There was like snow flurries when I got up to go to work. I'm like, what the hell is this stuff?
Tell her to keep it up in TC's area, up in Michigan. Stay up there.
But to be fair, the city I live in has had like a landfill that's not far from me. I mean, it's not like within like smelling distance normally, but it's in the city. Yeah. It's been on fire off and on for like the past 3 years, so we never know if it's snow or ash. So you never can tell, really. You hope it's one. Like when you do the whole snowflake on your tongue thing, you hope it's a snowflake at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, people out in Detroit.
Just a chance you take here.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least we're not in Detroit right now. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm thinking about you guys out there, and I hope you guys got ice skates. All right.
Sure.
You don't know what happened out there. You gotta look that up when you're done.
I'll look at it later. I don't keep up with a lot of stuff. If it's not wrestling, it don't matter.
Oh no, this one's fun. It's really cool to do. Like, whoa.
But we will start this week like we do every week. Welcome to the Running Wrestling Podcast, your home for all things wrestling, hate-free and drama-free. Please join the discussion and don't forget to like and subscribe. That is important. We are on our way to 200 subscribers by WrestleMania. We are still at 133. We have 0 added over the last week, and that is partly on me because I have not been posting as much as I normally do. I have been slacking. Too. I apologize for that. So we will get some more content out, give you some chance to subscribe to other people, and hopefully grow the audience. And definitely, again, join the discussion. We will say hey to some of the people in the audience already. You see Lady Alpha. Hello, Lady Alpha. Thanks for joining in. TC, a couple of people that are part of our great behind the scenes that starts at 7:30 over on Sped's Twitch, SB3DROCK on Twitch. Make sure you go subscribe to him. You can start us at 7:30, get the behind the scenes, kind of all being goofy and everything, and getting ready for the show.
Yeah.
And Lady Alpha getting on to me. She gets on to me. She yells at me. I don't like it.
It's actually funny.
Michael from the Kicking Out at 2 podcast. What's going on, Michael? We appreciate you coming in.
Dang, you got iced in.
Our wrestling genius Stampede, who gives us all the information on all other promotions around the world, here, there, and everywhere. We really appreciate you, Stampede. Appreciate you coming in as well. And yeah, it's been a pretty big week. We had a couple of big shows. AEW had a big show on Saturday night after the All-Star Game festivities. WWE had another show, a PLE, a little bit earlier, or NXT, I should say. It's still WWE, but we call it NXT. And we will go over all the matches to find out who won the NXT title that was on the line. Did Sped take it? Did I defend my crown? Am I still the Emperor? I guess you'll have to watch to find out.
Damn.
Up soon. We'll get started, and I always hit the wrong button doing that, so we will add that back on there, get it all in position. You see what we start off with every week. It is the logo. Starting off with Monday Night Raw. Pretty good Monday Night Raw, man. Seth Rollins comes in, qualifies for the Chamber, and completes the Chamber for the men. What did you think of the match between him and Finn Balor?
Fantastic, like usual. Both of them, they could do this forever together. They got great chemistry. But isn't it funny that it's setting up to, someone's going to screw certain Rollins over here soon at Elimination Chamber. He's magically not on the freaking list. And he just got his head bit caved in. So I'm looking forward to Elimination Chamber on this one.
It's hard to get inside that chamber once it's locked.
Just to round out
that's true. It's happened a few times. Just to round out the card, it is Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and everybody's favorite Logan Paul in the Elimination Chamber. Coming up next week, we will have a prediction show on Elimination Chamber next week where I will put my WWE crown on the line with me instead. So we come. Yeah, I mean the Phoenix's head looks a little bare without the crown.
Hey, listen, it's coming back.
I feel bad for it, especially as cold as it is.
It's coming back. Don't worry. Goodness. The kingdom is being rebuilt right now. All right.
Stampede going on. Some rumors that they had talked about, look, maybe doing AJ and Finn.
Yeah, I saw that.
At Mania, I've seen those rumors. They've also teased AJ with somebody else that we'll talk about here in just a second. Earlier on in that show, because AJ did have a match. And to Michael's point, many have gotten in the cage or attacked before the chamber. Yeah, poor Kofi.
Yeah.
Not poor Kofi, Boudet.
Oh,
we can't say poor Kofi anymore. We're not allowed to say it anymore because they're the Boudet now.
Yeah, whatever. I still like them.
I actually like them more, but that's
I do too. That's a bad thing.
But yeah, definitely a great match. I mean, these two probably, and again, I don't know where they rank exactly, but two of probably the best 3 or 4 best wrestlers on the entire roster. If not 1 and 2, they're definitely up there in the top 5. So I don't think they will go. They don't have bad matches really. So it was a really good match. I was glad to see. I thought Finn was going to swerve and get in just to do something a little different, but I'm glad to see Seth Rollins in there. And it really looks like it's shaping up to be a good elimination chamber. We won't talk about that too much because we don't want to ruin next week's show. Got to have a reason for you to tune in next week. But it does look like it's shaping up to be an exciting men's chamber match.
Oh yeah.
And also, you had the final woman qualifying for the chamber match for the women, and it is NXT's Roxanne Perez. Beat Raquel Rodriguez in what I think was a great match, to be completely honest.
It was a fantastic match, I thought. But what a year she's had so far, right? Finished second to last in the Women's Royal Rumble and the longest ever to do it, and then she went on and had a fantastic Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship, and then comes in, faces Raquel Rodriguez, and has a fantastic match with her. It's going to be, and look at her now. She's in the Elimination Chamber. People know that, she's probably not going to win it, but look where she's being set up as the future, and when we see her go for the IC title or the US title, because we know the draft is coming after WrestleMania. So, when we get that, if she goes to SmackDown US title, you stay on Raw, you get the IC title for now. Hell, I think she's good enough to go in for the WWE or the Women's World Heavyweight title right now too. That division.
Yeah, I said on a show Monday, to me, she's one of my top 3 wrestlers in the ring.
Right.
I know some other people think she's a little further down on the list, and that's fair. She hasn't been there as long, but I mean, to me, I think she's top 3 already. So I could definitely see her in good positions. Again, I'm with you. I don't know that I think she'll win the Elimination Chamber. Obviously, we'll predict that again next week. But again, shaping up to be a good show, a good women's chamber match, just like the men's.
Oh yeah,
with a couple of these, apparently AJ's contract is rumored to be up. Man, those are so hard to tell now. Especially, I mean, he's had all the time off. Who knows if they're going to do injury time added back? I mean, who knows, man? I would venture to say they'll do everything they can to re-sign him as well. AJ seems to be pretty happy with his position in the company. So even if it is up, I would imagine they will re-sign him because he's never acted like he has wanted to go anywhere else. Michael with the hashtag New Day is right.
New Day is right.
Like them or not, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong. So you're right there, but sometimes you don't have to like it. Roxanne, aka Roseanne, that was a pretty funny moment. Lillian Garcia announcing her as Roseanne Perez. Yeah. So that was pretty funny. I agree. I think she stays on Raw. I agree, Bailey. Whether it's at Mania or whether it's on the maybe the Raw before or after Mania, they do like to have decent matches there, and they're not going to put a ton of women's matches on there. I think there's already going to be at least 3 that I've heard of. So I don't know that happens at Mania. Probably one of the shows after, but I definitely think she's going to be on Raw after there. TC liked it, but what if she wins? Yeah, but she's not. As much as I would like it, but she's not.
Yeah, I would love
find it very hard to believe that WWE is going to put a rookie in one of the main events of WrestleMania. As good as Roxanne is, her and Rhea would be a lot of fun. I think Rhea's got about as much chance of losing that as she does with anybody else, which is almost 0 to me, depending on who it is. But I agree, it'll be a showcase, and it'll show the world who Roxanne Perez or Roseanne Perez, who, if you're Lillian Garcia, just who she is and never call her Roseanne Perez again.
Ever,
Everybody will know at that
please.
point.
Don't.
And we got to say hello to one half of the Herb and Raj podcast. Raj, how you doing tonight? Roll Tide, as always.
High
Nobody
tide.
else will say it. That's good too. You can catch Herb and Raj Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock Central here on YouTube on their channel, the Herb and Raj podcast. Appreciate you, brother. AJ will come down to money and who. I don't think it will. I don't think he needs the money. I don't know that he needs all that. I think he wants more time off because he wants to spend more time with his kids in high school now and all that. He's mentioned that before. I don't think WWE is going to make him do a strenuous run. He's going to be kind of in and out like he has been, except for the injury. And I just don't think he's going to go anywhere. I really don't. I think they want him to retire as a WWE superstar, and I think that they'll do everything they can to make that happen.
Then he goes right into the
TC agrees. Won't win there.
Ring of Hall of Fame. Sorry, it's a championship like a jackass.
And Ring of Honor, it should be TNA.
That's what I meant too. Like I was trying to talk and think at the same time, and it wasn't working.
Let's see. That's more the reason to do it. If I was booking it, Rhea's winning anyway. Yeah, but you still have to have those money matches, and not enough people know who Roxanne is on a broader stage, which is why I think you look at people like Bianca, Liv. Some of those other people that are in the match already have a better chance of winning just because that match will draw more eyeballs.
Yep.
Also on Raw, you have what we've mentioned previously, AJ Styles and Braun Breaker with a showdown. AJ Styles with one of the cleanest catches I've ever seen, like he's playing for the Braves. When Breaker throws his shirt in there, the nice stare down. And in a move that I know you didn't like too much, Braun Breaker trying to spear AJ and accidentally hit. I mean, do you ever really accidentally hit Dom? To be fair,
I don't know.
Is
man.
it ever really an accident when you hit Dom?
I just know that if this leads to a fatal 4-way, how are they going to introduce Sheamus to this? Because I still believe Sheamus should be in the match at WrestleMania for it, but I don't see Sheamus on TV anymore.
I would rather them do this match at Elimination Chamber, to be completely honest. They still have next Monday that they can announce it.
Yep.
Let Braun go in, beat AJ at Elimination Chamber. Sheamus comes in over the next week or two and says, look, basically, fella, I've been wanting this on my entire career. This is the only one I haven't won. I will put my career on the line for one more shot at that title.
Man, I wouldn't do that.
And it's career versus title at WrestleMania. Sheamus finally wins it, gets his crowning moment at WrestleMania. That's just how I think it should happen.
You guys and hating on Dom. What is up with this? This man gets speared to oblivion, and you guys are like, this is the best part of Raw. I bet you would have been like, that was a better spear than what he did with what was it, I Show Speed or whatever his name was.
You mean the guy who's never been in a wrestling ring ever? You mean Dom did better than that guy?
No, I'm saying that's what he's like. That spear that happened is better than what I thought. That was a brutal spear that he put on that dude.
Oh yeah, the one he put on Speed was definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I was talking about.
The kid was not clean out the way his head hit the canvas.
I thought he was done. I was like, good guy.
The canvas.
Yeah, I was like, good guy. This dude went through.
Yes, it was the catch of the century. And to your point, Stampede, I realize a lot of people have said that, and then people have still left. Just my gut feeling. Yeah, that's kind of all it is. Just my gut. I've definitely been wrong more than I've been right, so that's a fair statement. So, for what it's worth, I just don't think he's going anyway. And yeah, TC the spear was nasty. And they need to put Sheamus in some matches to get him involved. But I really think to get him in the position, I don't think he needs matches. I think he can do the hey, I'm the veteran. I've done everything I can. Like I mentioned earlier, I won't go over it all because obviously I don't want to waste too much time on it. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to win. And he would need to win some matches going through. Maybe they have if you lose a match between now and then, you don't get your shot or something like that, and we'll replace you. So he has to go through some trials and tribulations on the way to WrestleMania.
Give me Mohawk Sheamus back for WrestleMania IC title match.
And then Jay, what's going on? Jay Martell thinks AJ and Sheamus for the title would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would
He
be
said you're welcome.
my next thing to do would have him win it at SummerSlam. But man, I want that so much, and I've talked myself in the head. Like I get it, I get there's a lot of different ways it can be done, but I've convinced myself up here that it's going to happen at WrestleMania. So like it or not, that's just the way I'm going to go with it. Don't make it a full way. Dom needs to win the IC and would not win that. I don't know that Dom needs to win the IC title at
No, Dom
WrestleMania.
does. Dom needs to win the IC title anytime. I don't care what you guys say. So I can come in here and be like, nah, 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 ha, 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 the whole time.
I mean, maybe we need to get Michael and Dom and Sped on a podcast together and call it Dom's Anonymous or something, where they just sit around. Hi, my name is Michael. I'm a Dom fan. I don't know. Maybe something like that will happen.
Get the taped up glasses and the buck teeth coming out.
It's been 3 days since my last Dom match. I mean, I don't know, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, it starts sweating.
But I mean, I hope that AJ and Braun get a match. Like I said, I want it to be an Elimination Chamber, but no matter where it's at, it'll still be a great match. And I think it will help build Braun Breaker up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think AJ Styles is winning that.
Unless they swerve us like usual.
Yeah. And then next week, a couple of good women's matches up. The IC title for the women finally being defended.
Finally.
Of course, it's from the same woman she won it from. The Dakota Kai and Lyra Valkyria have a rematch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And while I hate the fact that it's against the same person she won it from, at least she's defending it.
Yes, I agree with that. But like, I looked at my wife when I saw that this was going to happen. I was like, if they give Dakota Kai the title, they must trust her ability to stay healthy for a little bit longer than what she has shown.
That would be so weird to take it off Lyra in her first defense against the same person she just won it from.
I think the whole idea was to give it to Dakota in the first place, but she was hurt.
You think they pulled but she didn't get hurt till the next match.
Well,
he wasn't hurt during that match.
No, like, okay, there's rumors that she was dealing with an injury before going into that match, like a slight little hiccup going in, right? And then something happened in that match where they flipped the script. I don't think Dakota Kai wasn't supposed to lose that match, for the inaugural Intercontinental Women's title, because after she lost, you didn't see Kai for a few weeks. And
you saw Kai the next week in the tag team match against PFC. She took the missile drop kick, and that's what wrote her off TV, was the missile drop kick from Zoe.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, something happened in that match to make it tweak like that. Okay, they see something, like her body's not 100% right now. I don't think she was supposed to lose it. That's why people, even me and EC were talking about this once, about Dakota Kai winning this over Lyra. And Lyra winning it, yeah, she could elevate stuff. She could make that title great. She has done nothing with it right now, but try to qualify for a match and stuff like that. But that's booking, I guess. We can chalk that up to, But this match, you could have had so many other things happen before you put Dakota Kai back into this type of match. If you want to build someone up, it needs to be Dakota Kai. She needs the build up over, let's say, Sheamus, who's got the 20 years in and deserves the IC title match right away. This is what I'm saying. You could have built up Ivy versus Lyra next week on Raw, and still built up Dakota versus Lyra down the road. If you get what I'm saying.
I do, and that's what I'm saying. I was hoping Ivy Nile would win that, so you'd have different contenders. I mean, if you look at both of the mid-card title belts for the women, it's been one champion, and then only one person has been defended for both titles. It's been all Michin over on SmackDown, and it's been all Dakota Kai at this point on Raw for the IC. I mean, put some different people in there. I wouldn't mind seeing Ivy Nile go for it.
B-Fab. Yeah.
Let her. They've had that feud going. Let her jump in there. There's other people that you can put in that position. And it seems to be let Natty get a shot. I know you don't like her, but let her get a shot at it.
I've even told my wife, I was like, look, to build up your title, you need to put them up, let them have micro wins. That's would have been perfect for Liv in her title run to lose it to Rhea. she would, if she had little micro stories going on and everything, a little here and there, EO, Dakota Kai, whoever, it doesn't matter. In between the Rhea stuff, everybody had been like, all right, cool, that was dope. She had a great title run, blah, blah, blah. But it was just Rhea live. Oh, let's add Dom into this. Let's keep Dom into the women's division. Let's, type of deal. And let's keep that heat going. It's really, it's the same thing.
And that plays into some of the rumors that are going around that there's a lot of women who are not happy with the booking. Yes. Frustrated with the booking of the women, and I see it, man. I mean, I do too. I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm frustrated with it, like we just talked about, man. I mean, we clamored for so long and begged for so long for women's mid-card titles, and they finally gave them to us, and it's like, okay, here you go. Here's your toy. Now go put them up and don't pull it back out.
Exactly.
And it's crazy. I mean,
it reminds me of the Divas division back in when the Divas.
I look back. And how many times on Raw could that extra 20 or 30 minutes where you're cutting the show off been an Intercontinental title match for the women?
Exactly. That's what I've said too. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's just crazy to me.
It is. It's bad.
And we try to be fair here, but we also are honest, and we're going to call it out when we call it out and when we see it. And point blank, the women's mid-card titles especially. Mm-hmm. The main titles haven't been as bad. You mentioned the Rhea and Liv stuff, but at least it was on TV every week.
Yes,
it was there.
I get that. Yes,
the women's title with Nia, Tiffany, and Bailey, and all that was on TV almost every week. So they've done a decent job, as they normally do with their main titles.
Yes,
but the mid card titles and then the other title we'll talk about, the women's tag team titles, just seem like afterthoughts. Like the people want it, so let's give it to them and then forget about it.
No, those are just like consolation prizes right now. Yeah.
So definitely something needs to happen. And maybe it's just, hey, we just put them out. WrestleMania is coming and we've already got a lot of stuff going for WrestleMania. So maybe it's kind of caught up in that whole thing. We'll talk a little bit about the build up to WrestleMania and how it can swallow people here in a little bit with something else. But maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a whole, hey, just give me time. Let's get through WrestleMania. We've already had a lot of these plans in place. Let's do that. We're going to give some matches here and there, but after WrestleMania, we're going to focus on these other titles and these other. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping with this women's tag. Hold on, don't put another context around
that. You're 100% right.
You're right. Yeah, I had to stop what I was saying to read that. That's 100% right about that. Yeah. But I'm hoping we finally progress on this Jade Cargill storyline.
It's coming.
I'm saying, man, it's been forever. Come on. I get it. She may actually have some stuff going on and she needed a time off and stuff like that. But, there's really this whole let's blame Raquel and Liv thing. It's like, okay.
Well, that'll end up playing as part of the story.
Yeah, I understand that. It just seems like a real cop-out, though. Like a real easy way to, okay, we forgot about this. Let's just put this in here now.
That's fair. It's an excuse. Same comment. And for somebody's story, it is every year. You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, it's going to happen every year and really every big show. You look at the same for SummerSlam. You look at the same for like an All In for AEW.
No, yeah.
There's always somebody that gets left off the show. There's less people that get left off in AEW because they may have 10 to 12 matches, but there's still people that get left off.
That shit scared the fuck out of me.
So who do you think wins both of the matches? You've got the tag team match and the Intercontinental match. Predict to me who you think is going to win each one.
I'm going to go with Lyra because in my opinion, she should not lose this title right now. She should carry it for a little bit longer and get a couple more matches with that title, for the title. So I go with Lyra, and then I'm going to go with Bianca and Naomi because I just don't see this Jade stuff progressing right now.
So I agree with Lyra. I think they may actually pull the trigger on Liv and Raquel because I don't think the Jade stuff needs the titles as a part of it. I think just a feud of if it is Bianca and Naomi that attacked her, those don't need titles involved.
No.
She can come in and do whatever. The tag team titles can go off and do something else. And that would actually alleviate some of what they were talking about is there not enough different storylines. That gives you a whole storyline that doesn't contain the women's tag team titles because they go off with Liv and Raquel and do other stuff, and it gives you a
Judgment
different
Day.
storyline to focus on. So that would actually help that out too. So hopefully that's what they're going. And I get it, Stampede. I'm with you. It seems like it moves a lot.
It is. It does. Yeah.
Anything else on Raw Catch Your Eye before we move on to SmackDown?
No, we already talked about a bunch of stuff on that.
Okay. Yeah. Other than Penta having a great match as he usually does.
Always does.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Penta for like forever now. It seems like since he made the jump. Wait till Ray gets there. Phoenix gets there, folks.
We'll talk about that more when there's more to it. I know they're talking, but it's still nowhere near it.
No, not yet.
We'll move on from that. Moving on to SmackDown. A little bit of family drama. Jacob and Solo have a face-off. No, I love you, Solo, but Solo saying I love you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Where do you think this goes from here? Obviously, they just announced the match today, so I don't have a graphic for it, but we can talk about it. The the 6-man tag with Tama, Jacob, and Solo against Cody Rhodes. Is it Damian Priest maybe and Braun Strowman? I think are the three, or I can't remember the third one.
Either way, look, I saw the rumors that these two might be going at it at WrestleMania, which, you know what, let it happen. Because Solo, the pecking order needs to be known that Jacob is above Solo, right? And Solo's coming back and he's like, hey, I want the family to come back together. I'm sorry, I messed up. Blah, blah. I just was hoping that Jacob kicked him right in the face right then and there. Yeah, I was like, you know what? No, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Well,
obviously, and we'll talk about the match that happened towards the end where Solo tried to come in and save him and messed up.
Yep.
You'll probably get some more of that tomorrow night in the 6-man tag.
Yep.
Where he's going to try to do something to mess it up. I mean, we're obviously setting up something for Jacob and Solo.
Yep.
In the future.
Hey, I'm all for it too. All right, these two would kick each other's face in.
Yeah, but it's definitely something to come. Looking forward to that tag match tomorrow night. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. The pecking order. He understood.
No, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people feel that way. That's not just a few of us that feel that way. That's the majority of people that watch the show feel that Jacob is definitely ahead of Solo. As far as pretty much everything. Mic skills, in-ring, persona, pretty much everything, really. We also have the Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax match. Tiffany Stratton retains the title. I want to say it ended in a DQ, I think. I'm pretty sure. But after the beatdown, Charlotte Flair comes out and officially chooses Tiffany Stratton for WrestleMania. So we're getting the match we thought we were going to get with Charlotte and Tiffany. What'd you think about it?
Well, first off, I found it funny when this happened. My wife looked at me and goes, look, it's going to be the Battle of the Barbies. I was dying when she said that.
What it is.
I was like, oh my God, that's funny. So, yeah, that's essentially what it is. But I've said it plenty of times. I feel like I don't think Tiffany loses this match. All right. I think it's the passing of the torch, but there's a lot of reasons why I think that, because I think the whole Bailey, Roxanne, Lyra, Becky, and if we had Mercedes, yes, I'm going to call her that, she would have someone too, but yeah. Oh yeah, that Tiffany Nia match was horribly produced. It really was. But wasn't who's producing female matches right now and on SmackDown? It's not Road Dogg anymore, is it?
No, he just got named co-head writer.
Co-head writer. That's what it was.
I think he's still doing some producing. I don't know which ones he does.
Okay.
They don't really put that out as much in WWE, so I don't know who produces each match. I know Finley's got a lot with it, but I don't know if he's on Raw or SmackDown. He does a lot of stuff with the women behind the scenes.
Man, Finley, wow.
I know Jason Jordan does. He does a lot of the producing for the women, and I know he's on Raw.
That type of mentor too.
I'm not really sure who produces each match because they don't really that I know of. Maybe Stampede, if you've seen it, if you know, if they ever show who produces the match, I don't ever see it, so I'm not sure.
But no,
I agree. The match was a little clunky. To
Yeah.
me, man, I didn't like the promo from Charlotte. It was boring.
Very boring. I
I mean,
choose
just getting the
you.
chair going. Tiffy. I mean, like, come,
Yeah.
just get to it.
Do it. We
Just get
all
to the
know what you're
point.
doing.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's weird that they've already chosen her. I mean, I thought you could build the suspense a little bit more, but I mean, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
the match we all thought. It's the match we all wanted. Well, there we go. Michael says Fightful Select has a write up about it. Yeah. Let us know when you find out. Let us know who it is. I agree. Tiffany should have went over clean with a win. It would have made her look strong. It would have made her look like a real champion. So
But they're not
I
really
agree
booking
completely.
like that with their
No,
champions right now. You know?
WWE doesn't look like that much at all. I mean, if you get a
No.
clean finish, the clean finish is like spotting Bigfoot.
Yeah,
This point.
exactly. Yeah. No, I mean, I was going to say the last couple of championship matches I could think of, they all ended in DQ. Basically, the
Pretty
WWE
much.
World Tag Team match ended in DQ.
Yeah,
The United States title ended in DQ. There's a bunch. Yeah, the women's United States title
WWE and look, this isn't new. WWE's been doing this for a while.
forever.
WWE has more false, I guess not false finishes isn't the right word, more screwy finishes than they have clean finishes,
No, I agree. Yeah, you're right.
which is one of the things they need to change.
Big time.
Again, we're not just WWE stands who thinks everything's great. There's definitely stuff they need to do better. That's one of them. I'm exactly with Stampede. Let her win and then let her beat them down after.
Yes. Yeah, you can always
It does
have
the
that.
exact same thing, except it
Yes,
just makes Tiffany look stronger for the win.
exactly.
I agree that if there was a different administration, it would definitely go a whole lot different. Charlotte would
Oh,
pretty much
yeah.
be taking it at WrestleMania.
Oh, man, yeah.
That is 100% true. He does like dusty finishes.
Yep, you're right.
TJ Wilson. Oh, that's surprising because he's usually
Oh,
pretty good. He
wow.
is one of the bigger producers of women's matches. That's
Yeah, I was
what I've
gonna
heard.
say, wow, he usually is really good at that. Wow.
Yeah. And they've got chemistry because they've had good matches in the past. So maybe it
Yes,
was just the time allotted. Maybe there were some other factors. Who knows?
the air. Someone may have farted out in the stands, they got a bad whiff.
Something like that. Next week, though, getting a couple of good matches. I mentioned the 6-man tag. You also have Uso and Drew McIntyre going 1-on-1. Whether it's Jimmy or Jay, we're not really sure, depending on if you're Drew McIntyre or not. You're not sure which Uso you're fighting, but it's one of them. And then you have the tag team title match, DIY versus Pretty Deadly.
Yes, boy.
I'll let you see what you think about them.
Listen,
match, and what do you think?
I want Pretty Deadly to win. Yes. All right, I said it. I've always liked these guys. Pretty Deadly's one of my favorite tag teams out there. I do want them to win, but I see DIY winning, to be honest. And everybody knows Drew McIntyre is going to destroy Jimmy. All right, look, Jimmy, he's fantastic, but Drew is on a different level, and he's allowed to do things that he wasn't allowed to do on Raw. Okay, so Drew's unhinged, and I'm kind of praying that we get to see Drew Galloway type, like how we've been seeing Kevin Steen coming out lately. The Ring of Honor, Kevin Owens days. I'm kind of hoping we get to see independent Drew Galloway TNA days where he was just dropping bodies.
Yeah. And unlike what I said a minute ago, I actually think this will be a clean finish. I think Drew just kills him.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with TC. I think he destroys Jimmy. No yeet. But I do think this will be a clean finish. I don't think the tag team match will be a clean finish. I think with everything going on with the Street Profits and Los Garzas, I don't think there's any chance, and the Machine Guns, I think there's zero chance that the tag team match ends in a clean finish. I agree with
that. I agree with that.
And I think they will win. I think they'll end up winning by DQ, but I don't know that it's going to do anything for them.
It's just me.
They're going to continue the whole multi-team storyline, probably on to WrestleMania, where we're going to get a multi-man match or a multi-tag match for the title, which I think will be good because you've got good teams in it. But until then, it's just going to kind of be a lot of the same match, beat people down, interrupt the match, beat people down, hey, let's do this other match next week, and then somebody will come beat them down.
This should be the
storyline.
opener. This should be night one's opener. If you're going to do a fatal 4-way, like you said, or a triple threat, whatever, for the WWE Tag Team Championships, right? Profits, DIY, Pretty Deadly. I mean, hell, even Los Gar.
And the guns have all of them. DIY, Motor Machine Guns.
Okay, yeah, 5. Fatal 5.
Profits.
When you said the guns, I was thinking Austin and Colton. Immediately, my brain went right to freaking Austin and Colton gun. I was like, wait a minute. They just saw. No.
No, that didn't happen.
Oh, that's why I was like, wait a minute.
Catching up on a couple things. As we learned, Ronda would have come back. That's 100% right. The former regime would have had Ronda Rousey come in to show everybody in there, and it would have been insanely bad. Both are correct there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. I love the chats that we get out here.
I don't even want 4 teams. I want 6. Give me 6 teams. You've got them there. They're all in the periphery. You've got these 2. You've got the Garzas and the Motor City Machine Guns. You've got the Street Profits, and maybe 5. Maybe I overcounted.
Yeah, you got 5. Hold on.
Maybe God comes back.
Yeah.
Maybe Tongaloa comes back and they get thrown in there. I don't think they should be, but maybe they do. Who knows? Just to give it a 16. But a 5-team match would be really good. Let them do 20, 30 minutes in the ladder match. They've proven they can do that way in the past. They've done it before.
Oh, yeah.
Had some really good tag matches.
TLCs, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think and even if you wanted to do that, do a 3-team, do the Motor Machine Guns, the Street Profits, and DIY in a TLC match, that would work.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
I was gonna say, can we bring back pre-show matches though? All right, we don't need to watch the same damn thing for 3 hours straight of some whatever her name is and whatever his name is, both talking about whatever for the last 3 hours. Yeah.
And say there was never going to be 6. I just can't count.
Yeah,
right. There's only 5 teams. I thought there was another team in there that I was forgetting.
Alabama Education.
There was not.
High Tide.
There's another match too, and for the life of me, they just announced it today, and I can't remember it.
We talked about it,
but there is another SmackDown match. No, not the 6-man. There's another one. They announced 2 matches today.
Okay.
And Chad, if you remember the other match that Aldis announced, he announced 2 matches. It's the 6-man tag, and there was another one that he announced today. It may have been a women's match. I can't remember. Oh, it was. It was Liv and Naomi, a match that nobody wants to see. I guess they're preparing them for the Monday Night Raw tag team match. So Liv's going to come over from Raw, even though the transfer window's closed, and they're going to have a one-on-one match.
That's weird.
Which is why I didn't want to talk about it, because it makes me mad now.
I don't want to talk about it.
Because it makes me mad, because we're just forgetting that transfer window's closed. Let them be on separate shows and be done.
Yes.
So we're going to move on.
Please.
Right, moving on to Grand Slam and Dynamite. Going to talk a little AEW now, going over what happened over the past week in Grand Slam and Dynamite. First up, the tag team match between Omega and Ospreay. Stand tall, beating the Callis family with a one-winged angel and hidden blade combination.
Yeah, I could say, yeah.
A great match to kick off, man. I mean, it was a great match.
Freaking plus match right there.
Again, we mentioned it with Seth and Finn over in the other company, but these 4 guys were never going to have a bad match. These are 4 of the best professional wrestlers on the planet.
I was going to say
something 3
like that.
Kyle Fletcher, who's on his way.
Yeah,
maybe Kyle Fletcher's not there yet, but he's on his way.
That crowd was red freaking hot though throughout that whole match. Shout
out to AEW for being aware.
Moving
it to a smaller venue, because if you'd got the same number of people in a larger venue, it wouldn't have sounded as good. You wouldn't have been able to hear, for instance, when the crowd kept singing Cope's song after it went off, kept singing Metalingus. I mean, it gave me chills.
It was dope.
A long time ago.
It was awesome. It even gave him chills, and I thought that was dope as hell. But
definitely a great match.
Oh, yes.
And I'm glad that it kicked off the show. I put it first on our predictions because I thought it should kick off the show. I'm glad it did, because it got the crowd even more hyped up. And and we'll go ahead and address it now because I know it's been talked about all week. I don't give a shit about how big the ring was.
Okay, what?
So anybody in the comments, anybody there, oh, trust me, it's been all over Twitter for the last. I know.
Oh no, I know.
With ice storms and stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. I've seen it when I came.
The only time the size of the ring matters to me is if it affects the wrestling, and like we just talked about in this match, it's one of the best matches they've had all year. The size of the ring doesn't flipping matter. No, so get over it, people.
Yeah, who cares?
Like every girl I've ever dated has told me, size does not matter.
Hey, you tell them shut up, Meg.
But moving on. Yes, Copeland was almost brought to tears to that.
That's what I'm saying. Cool. Yeah.
Also, you had Mercedes Moné and Okada retaining their championships in again really good matches. We'll say that a lot during talking about AWs. They don't really put on bad matches.
They don't.
Very predictable wins though, so we won't talk a whole lot about them, other than the fact they were just good.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to them?
No, I just love the way that TBS championship belt looks. That's a pretty championship. I don't care who holds it. That damn.
I like the way it looks when it's by itself, not with 10 other belts around it.
Well, no, I get that too. Yeah, well, yeah, when Jade had it, oh my God, they really let that thing shine, you know? But man, that is a beautiful championship. We can talk about it Tuesday.
And I agree. No, they talked about it on their show Tuesday. I agree. It's a non-issue, but I had to bring it up. Everybody's been talking about it. It would do a disservice not to bring it up. I wanted to give my thoughts on it. It doesn't flip and matter.
No.
The wrestling was amazing.
You guys also bitch, moan, and complain about the 8-side. What was it? The 8? Yeah, the octagon that TNA had.
The 6-sided. It was 6-sided.
Six. That's what it was. Yeah, you guys also bitched about that. So, you know, and now you guys are like, please bring it back. Listen, Okada versus Matthews was a phenomenal match, and I love the little tribute that Buddy Matthews did for his wife. Yeah.
And knowing that he twisted his ankle at the beginning of the match and still had that great of a match, even bigger for him.
Yes.
Okada is coming, but obviously Kenny's got some more stuff that we'll talk about that does irritate me with AEW that we'll talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
The Death Riders, we did talk about, them singing Adam Copeland's song or Cope's song, almost bringing him to tears, but then he was brought to tears by Moxley choking him out. And the Death Riders winning the match. It was an okay match, I guess. I didn't really do a whole lot for me. But I'll let you go over it and tell me what you thought.
I want their T-shirt just to say I have it. I'm going to go buy a white T-shirt just to say I have Death Riders merch. All right. But no, I mean, it didn't have to
That's the smartest and dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life at the same time.
At the same damn. Like the bottom left of the damn shirt says Death Riders.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
I'm aware.
No, it didn't do much for me either because I'm a big Jay White fan. All right. And I want to see this dude excel. But it just, I mean, he came out Wednesday. Today's Thursday. He came out Wednesday and cut a really good promo in my book. Yes, it was a little shout out to Roman, but they're best friends. So let him do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're always going to have that connection. I mean, exactly. I've seen a lot of people making a big deal out of it. It's fine.
Who cares?
And obviously we're setting up for Cope and Mox at Revolution in 2 weeks. So there's the problem. We can get a white T-shirt, but damn it, we can't get a mini Monet puppet. You're killing me at AEW. You're killing me. I want a mini Monet puppet. I would spend my money on a mini Monet puppet. That's hilarious.
Listen, next week I will have a white T-shirt on representing the Death Riders. Watch.
I saw what happened when you turned that hat around and it was white and you could barely see you. I don't know that white's a good option for you with that green screen and stuff. You'd be like the floating head that you see that used to be on the Pee Wee Herman show, like the floating little genie head. It'd be weird.
Oh man! See, I fixed this the lighting.
So you think they're going to pivot from Mox on? I don't know. If they do, what's the point? What's been the point of the Death Riders the entire time?
I mean, there's a lot of things that we've been asking. What's the point in AEW for years?
Yeah, never trust Jay White. Neither should I. That's a good point.
Yeah, you're damn right. You don't trust Jay White.
I mean, they call him a switchblade for a reason. He could turn on any second, and it'll cut you. Quick. One move, and it'll cut you
real quick.
That's why they're banned in a lot of states, or they used to be. I don't know if they are still now. They used to not be, like Alabama. You couldn't buy switchblades; they were illegal.
I think they're
So,
banned from a lot of places still.
but obviously, we will talk about Revolution in a couple weeks after we talk about Elimination Chamber because it is the weekend after. And yes, I will be putting the AEW crown on the line for that as well. But more on that to come. And we can't leave Grand Slam without talking about one of the best moments, maybe the best moment in 2025 in all of wrestling. Timeless Toni Storm regaining her title in front of her home crowd.
Great.
Great match. I loved it. Loved the ending. I love how she won with a small package, which she's been using for the past few months as quote unquote the rookie Toni Storm. It makes sense. So if you're one of the ones complaining about it, kick rocks.
Yeah,
it makes complete sense in the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've said this is one of the best storylines in the past 2 years of wrestling, period. They definitely paid it off. Stampede's got it at 8.25. I would actually go higher than that. I would say a 9, to be completely honest. I love it.
I was gonna say 8.75 to a 9 on my end because I love the match and she's the first ever 4-time, right? 4-time.
Say it to him one more time. 4-time.
4-time.
Booker T, that's some.
Man, that damn title is beautiful. I don't care what anyone. I've heard so many people say that belt is not good looking at all. First off, what Big Mike just said, go kick rocks, okay? Because that's a beautiful freaking title. AEW knows how to make a title, all right? I don't know who the hell they got doing it, but it doesn't look like you get it from McDonald's like the WWE Championship. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, all right?
And then you come up Wednesday, crowning achievement, winning the title in your hometown, and you'd think Toni Storm would take the week off, rest on the laurels. Cuts one of the best promos AEW's probably ever seen on Wednesday night.
Yep.
Just further proving why she deserves that title. I'm not sure who's going to be her next opponent. Unfortunately, I think I know who it's going to be, and it's not somebody I want it to be. But there are a lot of options. It's only a matter of time before it's Monet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I was
With the whole belt collector gimmick she's got going, there's only a matter of time before she goes for that one too.
Yeah, no.
She'll probably beat Momo in a week or two. I don't know if that may be at Revolution, or it's either next week or at Revolution with her and Momo. Where Mercedes and Momo, and then I think she goes after Toni Storm. It's only a matter of time. And I don't want to see Monet take it, but I don't see Toni not doing it. I don't see Tony Khan. I don't see Tony Khan telling Mercedes, no, you can't take that belt too. Stampede disagrees with me, and I hope to God you're right.
I hope he's right too.
I hope to every wrestling god on the planet or off the planet in the universe.
Maybe Thunder Rosa.
100% right.
Can we get Thunder Rosa?
Thunder Rosa's got other stuff going on after that match with Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander. Looks like we're probably heading for a tag match between Statlander, Thunder Rosa, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford, probably.
Can we get Athena finally? Come on.
She just held her ROH title this weekend.
Ah!
So, yeah, I mean, everybody else has got stuff going on, really. And I don't want it to be Britt Baker again, as much as I love Britt Baker. I don't know that she's ever coming back to the company. So it's got to be somebody else. Because Statlander's caught up. Maybe Willow again. Maybe Willow tries again, but Willow's got stuff going on with Marina with the whole attacking her backstage the last couple of weeks. I agree with that. Megan Bayne is very close. I think Megan Bayne is turning into what they wanted. And now I just lost it. The woman that was with Mercedes, I loved her too. And her name just left my head.
I know who you're talking about.
Help me. I know who I'm talking about too. I can see her. I know it. It's right on the tip of my tongue. And her name just said bloop, bloop, right out of there. But somebody will tell us in the chat. Camille, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Tori. Camille.
Thank you.
Again, I can tell you every other. I can tell you where she went to college at Florida. I can tell you her husband's, but I couldn't remember her name for some reason.
I can't tell you none of that.
Yeah, that's the part. I love Camille. She's one of my favorite. She was one of my favorite indie wrestlers before she came in. Jamie Hayter. I forgot about Jamie Hayter. I'll take that all day long. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Sir.
Yes,
Thank you for giving me hope.
Thank you.
I'm not doing that.
I listen. I got to give TC something because I won't give.
Yes, Michael. Much like every Tuesday and Thursday on your show, Victoria beat you to it. But yes, you are correct.
Damn, he just
never
mind. Don't
Just
instigate,
saying.
Sped.
Just saying. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
Don't instigate. Fight every
So, and we'll get into something. Obviously, Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong had a Roderick Strong had a great match on Dynamite. Orange Cassidy won, comes back with his original theme, original blue denim, all of that stuff. But why are we doing this?
I was asking you that question when I seen this. I was like, okay, what the hell? Why are we doing
That's why
this?
it's the caption. Why is this happening? It's the International Championship Series.
Yeah.
So either the International Champion should be in all 3 matches, or he should be in the last match and that's it. Why are you putting your International Champion in the second match to face Kenny Omega, who's not your champion?
Yeah.
It would be okay if you just swapped Omega and Takeshita. Let it be Orange Cassidy and Kenny Omega next week.
Yeah.
Winner goes on to face Takeshita.
Yes.
To me, it just disrespects your title holder.
Yes.
You can get to the same outcome by not disrespecting the person or if you want Takeshita in there, let it be all 3 of them. Week 1, Takeshita Strong. Week 2, Takeshita Orange. And if he wins all that, then it's Takeshita versus Omega. I don't understand why you put your champion in the middle of the tournament instead of the goal of the tournament or the series.
I don't know, man. When I saw this, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I don't get it. Takeshita should be the goal. It's the International Championship Series. Takeshita should be the goal.
He's look. I've been saying it for a while. He's the best.
Hold on. I get it, Stampede. I agree with you. I think it is going to ultimately lead Takeshita and Omega. I think everybody pretty much knows that.
Yeah.
But you're disvaluing your champion by putting him in the second match and not making him the ultimate goal of the championship series. Yep. You're automatically telling people with this lineup that Kenny Omega is more important than your champion.
Yep.
If you want your champion to build himself up, you let your champion be in all 3 matches. We're going to have a series, and if Takeshita can last all 3, then he gets the match he wants in Kenny Omega. But that's not how they did it. This is what frustrates me sometimes with AEW. They try to be too cute sometimes with their tournaments/series, and it just doesn't make sense.
No, I get what you're saying. Because Takesha's been one of your better champions for the better part of the last, 8 months? You know, and how are you going to disrespect him like that when he's been turning over when you're contract? Okay.
That's fine. Okay. But that's beside the point of this series, though. I agree that he should get that title shot, but that's completely different than what's happened in the International Championship Series. Ever since I saw this graphic, it's irritated me, and I apologize. Maybe I'm being a little bit too strong about it, but it just irritates me. It just devalues your champion.
No, I get what you're saying.
It says that's a cute belt, Takeshita, but you're not Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's the goal. So, but nonetheless, it was a great match. I agree with Tori. It's very unnecessary. There is no chance Takeshita loses. There's no chance Takeshita loses next week. And then you get Takeshita and Kenny Omega, which who knows who wins that. We'll get to it when we do our predictions on the 7th.
Flip the coin.
I will go back. There is one more because I didn't have a slide for it. The MJF Hangman. They're also going to be fighting at Revolution. That was a great promo.
Yeah. Wow. I forgot about that.
I really do think that was one of the better promos of the year. Obviously, it's still only February, but those two are going to have a great match. I think Hangman should win it. I've never been the biggest Hangman Page fan, but I think he should beat MJF if they're going to let him position to be for any title, really. MJF doesn't need the win. And the way they're promoting Hangman, he does, but we'll have to see. And again, we'll make a prediction on Revolution. What do you think about the promo between the two?
Well, until you said something, I totally forgot that happened. But no, I do agree with you.
It opened the show too.
But that's what I'm saying. Look, when you got kids and they start running around like crazy, it's like, what the hell just happened? But no, I do agree. Hangman needs to win more than MJF. MJF can lose and still be main event caliber in AEW. Real easy. The guy's got the mic skills. He can talk it up with anyone. He can make you look like a schmuck, and you're not even a real schmuck, And look, Hangman has to win in order to get that look at the AEW title. All right. Yep. That's
or
just
any
me.
title. If he wants to go for the TNT title, if he wants to go for the Continental title,
Yes,
if he wants to be viable for any title,
yep.
he needs to win this match.
I don't know who wants to
And
go
now
for
I'm
that
going to end on. I'm going to use one more point, and then I'm going to go to Stampede. I'm going to go to your comment last because I do want to end on a positive talking about AEW. And your point is a positive point because I do want to talk about Harley Cameron. But another thing that irritates me before we get to that, Samoa Joe has been one of my favorite wrestlers for a long time, and I love the ops that they've put together with Shibata, Hook, and him. But why the hell are they going after the patriarchy? Why is he not going after Chris Jericho? The last time we saw Samoa Joe, he was getting put through a wall on a forklift by Chris Jericho.
Yep.
And it's like we forgot about that.
Well,
and I'm going to call a spade a spade. If WWE did the same thing, had that angle to write somebody off, and just never said anything about it when the guy came back, we would be killing him.
Oh yeah, we'd be
rightfully so.
Yeah.
There is no way that they should be going. The Hook patriarchy arc should have ended, and then Samoa Joe came back and got help to go against the Learning Tree. That's what Shibata and Hook should have been. That's what the ops should be. Is the opposition to the Learning Tree, and take down and cut down the Learning Tree. But again, that's just an irritation I have. I love Samoa Joe. I like Hook. I love Shibata. But they should be going after the Learning Tree. That irritates me too. Now
I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying.
On to a positive.
Positives.
The Mercedes Moné match that we talked about, where she had when she held her title, was against Harley Cameron, and Stampede gave it a 7.75. I don't know. I think I would probably go a little higher, only because I would give Harley Cameron a little bit of the doubt. Yeah. But it was an amazing match. I loved that match almost as much as I loved the other women's match, and I loved the other women's match.
I agree. She will be TBS ready, a title ready soon, but I think it's 9 to 12 months, not the 12 to 18 months. I think it's going to be 9 to 12 months. You know, within the next 9 to 12 months, I think she'll be TBS champion. That's what she
is. She's up there with Storm and Mariah May as the most entertaining women, not only on AEW television, but on television in general.
Right
probably
now,
put Chelsea Green up there from WWE, but as just far as just entertainment, that's probably my top 3 is Toni Storm, Harley Cameron, Chelsea Green, in whatever order you want to put it at, depending on the week.
Oh yeah, no, I feel that.
Tori agrees 6 months at the most, and then obviously Chris Jericho is slowly getting phased out. I get it, but why? Why are they doing the whole thing with Bandito? He just beat Bandito again. Why not let that be Samoa Joe and let Bandito and those guys go after the patriarchy? Let those flip-flop those two because it makes more sense.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
So, all right. And Harley being the 5-star attorney in Stardom, that would be cool. Kind of do what they did with it, like an Anna Jay. Let her go over there and get some reps over in Stardom, come back. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But I don't want her to lose her character. I want her to still be the quirky, funny, singing ventriloquist. The puppet is hilarious. I don't want her to lose that. But it's just one of the most entertaining women on TV.
Yep.
Tori thinks Bandito takes the title with him. Yeah, but they just did. I'm sorry, spoilers for Collision. My bad. I guess I should have said that because they actually faced Saturday night, and I apologize. I've already let the cat out of that bag. I really do apologize. I didn't even think about it because I forgot it was for Collision. I actually thought it would have been part of Dynamite, but Chris Jericho beats him.
Damn.
Since I've already said it, I'll say it that one more time. I won't say it again for anybody who didn't hear me those 2 times. If you want to watch Collision, I apologize. I got ahead of myself when it got brought up, but that takes care of that. We will move on before I screw anything else up because I do know a few other spoilers for Collision. Because I do know I heard a few other things and I don't want to screw up again and say another one. So we will move right on to NXT. NXT Vengeance Day, which my crown or my title was on the line for. We had one match that was different, which was the tag team title match. We will get into that here in just a second. Wrong way.
Stupid tag team title match. That was such a great match, though.
We will,
all right.
But we'll start off with what kicked off the show. Ethan Page pretty much destroying Javon Evans again.
We both called
he
it.
ended up punching him in the face, and yeah, but I didn't think it'd be like that. He had him bleeding from the mouth again. Obviously, Javon's not as hurt as he could be because we saw him back again on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Attacking Ethan Page during a segment. So, but it was a good match. It showcased Javon Evans. Saw what he could do, but at the end, Ethan Page, the veteran and the intelligence that he has, he just slips it up. What did you think of the match there?
I gave it a B minus. I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was great. You know, you get a B plus and everything. That's great, but I was predictable. It was a beat down. You know, and that's what I thought was coming. I was like, this is called it. Yeah.
I do like the way they teased the hit to the face with Javon just being quicker a lot. I do like the way they set it up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Javon got a lot of good offense in. I really like the match. I'd probably agree with you. I'd say either an 8.25. So, I mean, Stampede's right on there. It felt like it was longer than 12 minutes, to be honest. It really did.
I thought it was real quick, honestly.
You thought it was shorter than 12 minutes. I actually felt like it was longer than 12 minutes.
I like this 1 minute I'm making chicken wings, and the next minute it's 1, 2, 3. I was like,
okay, but you had other stuff going on, so you weren't paying attention exactly. So
yeah, I was like, what the hell?
You also had both championships. Vakor wins the North American Championship. Julia retains her championship in the 4-way match. And I kind of put them all together because we were combining the shows.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Vakor and Fallon match? And what did you think of the 4-way?
All right, so the Fallon Vakor match, fantastic in my book. I like Fallon though. All right, and Stephanie, she is on a different level. All right, but that picture that you have right there, that's beautiful. The one where she's looking right at the NXT. She's not looking at Julia. She's looking at that NXT championship. Right. If you want a real belt collector, that's who you get right there. All right. And yes, I agree with you. It was a C+ match. Right. And it was a great way to showcase.
The C is for champion.
Oh, my bad. I looked down real fast and came back up and saw C. That's all I saw. But still, I like what Stephanie can do in that ring. All right. She's straight business. All right. And, you know, it's nice when, you know, you got Booker T going freaking bazonkers over one move, you know, but Julia showed
in his defense. It's
a great move. All right. It's probably one of the coolest moves I've seen in a long time.
And shout out to EC, who got one of the best angles of that move in the video. I saw him post.
Yes.
That was good stuff.
Oh, EC's been delivering some great photos, videos. He's the man when it comes down to that. But Jordan Grace joining up this. Oh, go ahead.
So this is his. He had 7 out of 10 for both women's matches.
Okay.
One was 15 minutes. One was 18 and a half. I agreed. I thought they were both really good. I probably would have put the Stephanie and Fallon match a little bit above the other one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it looked like, and look, I get it. Bayley was tired.
There
were some times in that match where Bayley looked like she just didn't have it. And completely understandable with all the other stuff she's been doing over the past week or two. You know, the fact that she was probably a little tired, understandable.
Oh, no,
she had to catch a flight the night before from the All-Star game stuff to get in there and do all that. But so I'm not really taking it away. I still would give it, you know, like you said, around a 7, but I would probably put the Stephanie match a little bit ahead of it.
A little bit ahead, yeah. But no, I like
Hold on. One more time. Let me interrupt one more time. So thank you, Michael, Tori. Make sure after our show you go check them out, Kicking At It 2 podcast over at their YouTube channel for more wrestling content. They will talk about a lot of stuff that we haven't talked about. They'll have their 3 count going on. Go hang out with them after our show, obviously, because we don't want to lose you as viewers here. But they also put on a great show. We appreciate you guys being here. All right, now finish your point. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say with Jordan Grace now in NXT, that NXT Women's Championship division just got 15 times better. Did you see what she did on Tuesday? Sorry, I was going to say Wednesday. Yeah. She was killing them, killing everybody. And then I get a text, right? And it says, yep, you've been talking about her, and I see what you mean. Yeah, I was like, I told you. That's all I said. I told you. You know, that was it.
But who do you think she goes after first? Julia
I
or Stephanie?
I think that she is ready to be on the main roster, in my opinion. Okay. And she's ready to be NXT women's champion. All right. I get what they did with Stephanie Vicor as the NXT North American champion because they needed to give both those ladies championships. All right. Both of them is either Julia's getting the NXT North American or she was getting the women's championship. And, you know, I get what they did. All right. But maybe Stephanie should be NXT Women's Champion and Julia should be North American Champion. But we'll see what happens later on. I mean, the North American title has been a stepping stone for a lot of men. Look at Adam Cole, North American Champion to NXT Champion. Oba, North American Champion to NXT Champion. You know, the same thing for Mello, you know, on out. So maybe this is a stepping stone that they're going to use for her. Women's North American Championship to NXT Women's Champion.
Hope so. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, any one of these women could be on the main roster. I mean, not just Jordan. I mean, Stephanie and Julia could do it. We've talked about that as well. Vicor has taken to the WWE style a lot quicker than Julia. Julia is quickly getting it now, though. I think she has made a lot of strides over the past couple of weeks to a month, where she looks a lot better than she did when she first came in. But yeah, I mean, I think any of the three could be on the main roster by after Mania. Just pick and choose who you want it to be.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. Then at the end of the night, obviously you had the match we did talk about, and I don't think I have a slide on it. Fraxium did retain over the other guys. I can't remember the Japanese guy's name, but it was Briggs and his tag team partner did lose in a really good match. And then they get jumped by this new faction, and then Obafemi retains against A-Town Down Under, and also gets jumped by this faction who are just wreaking havoc over NXT. They did it again on Tuesday night at the end, where they took out pretty much everybody. There we go. I can always count on Stampede. Briggs and Inamura.
I love that match.
5 out of 10. That was a great match. I loved it.
That was a great match.
And it showcased Inamura and Briggs a lot more than a lot of other teams get showed. Shows how good that they can really be. So I'm really glad they did that.
Yes.
But there's no way Fraxium should have lost that match. I'm glad Fraxium won. I don't know where Fraxium goes next. Obviously, I know the match they have coming up Tuesday, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But yeah, overall, Vengeance Day was a really good show. What'd you think?
Really good.
About just the show overall.
I loved the show. I thought the show was great. I thought it was fantastic. But back to these guys right here. Look, IWC, all right? I do not just stop. These guys are not the Shield 2.0. These guys aren't the NWO. These guys aren't anything like that. If they're anything, they're Retribution 2.0. All right? That's what they look like.
Whoa.
That could be better.
See, you're going from one extreme to the next. They can very easily be somewhere in the middle.
No. I'm not saying Retribution. They booked horribly.
You just said Retribution 2.0.
2.0 could be better. It could be.
Okay.
It could be. All right. I mean,
don't put that stank on them. Come on.
Look what when this is gonna go back now. When Vince left the corporation and went to the Ministry of Darkness, you know, the corporate ministry, you know, it got better. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I think this might be better if they play their cards right with this instead of screwing over T-Bar and who was the other guy? You know,
yeah, Mace, T-Bar,
Mace. That's who it was.
Else.
Yeah,
and I don't want to put that on them, man, because Retribution is just bad.
And that's why I said this could be better, because if you do it differently this time. You know, they could have done it so much better. Maybe they could have done it so much better at the time that they had Retribution and everything. I mean, it was during the COVID era. They could have done so much more. Like, you had people sitting on the damn ropes while on commercial break in the COVID era, but you took no time to build a faction, you know?
and yes, it couldn't possibly be worse. That's actually true. There's only one direction to go from Retribution, and it's up.
more south.
No.
I'm messing around. I'm
Yeah.
messing around. I'm messing around.
Then we had Tuesday night from TNA. Moose debuts in NXT, makes a huge impact as a face-to-face with Oba, which apparently we're going to get that at some point. Didn't really mention where. But next week, we do know it is going to be Lexus King versus Moose for the X Division Championship. Who do you think takes that one? Do you think Lexus? Do you think they ever give Lexus King that championship, or is it just a showcase for Moose?
Just a showcase for Moose to get the world to see what this dude is all about. This guy's a freaking beast. All right. If you guys haven't seen him in the ring, you're about to be freaking wowed. All right. This guy can go. All right. He can really go. And you know who's showing up to TNA tonight? Guess who is showing up? Oba.
Who's that?
Oba.
Oh, I hope so.
He already said it. He said, look, he invaded my territory. Now it's time for me to go invade his. And he said, and where are they right now? Where are they right now? EC is right there. They're at Full Sail.
Oh, that's right. They're at Full Sail this week.
Yeah, they're in Orlando.
Time to do it.
It's a great time to do it. You know, this is it. Yeah, I was waiting for this. Everybody's been waiting for this, but I thought Moose didn't want this match.
I can't hear anything. Keep talking.
Okay, but I didn't think Moose wanted this match, to be honest with y'all. But yeah, no. Honestly, I think this is gonna be. If you build this up the right way, this is gonna be probably the best promo. Like the what do we call it? What's the video package? The best video package that you get all year. Yeah.
All right, so sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties. I lost my ears. But we are back. I can hear everything again. Just in time to say hello to Herb from the Herb and Raj podcast, the other part of the Herb and Raj podcast. We appreciate you jumping in. I realize you have a show at 7:30 that you don't get to see a whole lot. You've been doing a lot of stuff. We really appreciate you jumping in at any point.
He got told that he
didn't catch them on Tuesday nights at 8 Central.
He was eating something when they first started their show at like 7:30 or whenever they started, 6:30, whatever it was. He was just sitting there nom at first. I was like, all right.
And I'll put that up there. We didn't talk about the match because I didn't really like it. I'm not a Hetty Thorpe fan.
My wife.
I don't know that I'd give it a 5. But
my wife looked at me and was like, "Can I take a nap?"
Yeah,
I was like,
I
"Wow,
didn't like that match at all."
Wow.
So, and Stampede, not a big Moose fan apparently.
Well, no, a few years ago that dude was a freaking beast in the ring. And I get what you're saying. He is getting up there in age and he's slowed down a lot, you know. But I mean, for a while there, he was TNA. He was TNA for a while there.
I mean, he carried it.
He did.
And apparently it was Zaxby's. He was eating his dinner as the show.
Man, you lucky SOB. I want Zaxby's. We don't got that shit up here. Lucky.
All right. Then the moment everybody was waiting for.
Ricky
the
Saints.
Contract signing of the one and only Ricky Saints.
I messed up plenty of times this week and called him Ricky Starks a million times. A million.
So first and foremost, what do you think about the name change? How do you like it? And two, what do you think happens in the tag team match that they're going to have next week?
Well, one, I know that they're doing this whole Ricky Ethan Page thing, but I kind of hope Ricky turns heel and beats down Javon Evans. It just has a badass heel, you know, but I don't care about the name. Sometimes I wish they would just let these guys keep the names that people know already. So that way we don't have to see a million fucking name changes. You know, like I'm so tired of it. But I get it. I do get it. Everyone's gonna be like, oh no, I do get it. Trust me, I do get it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Stampede. I don't know why everybody's making a big deal. I do know why. I get it. It's the tribalism. It happened when Cope got his name change. It happened when, you know, they started calling Rusev Miro. I mean, it doesn't matter what the name changes. It's always going to be. There's always going to be somebody on the other side. It doesn't matter. People hated it because it's not what they wanted.
Yeah, but wasn't that his independent name though when he first? Probably. You know, out in the independents and stuff.
I don't know that. I mean, it may have been, but even still, Ricky Saints, the guy's from New Orleans. It's what it fits into where he's from.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah,
he had input
exactly.
into
Yeah.
what it was going to be. I mean, just
I
calm
didn't
down.
care. I don't care. Like I just said, like sometimes I do wonder why they can't do it, but then I think, okay, it's a business aspect. I get it. Business is business. I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I think he's going to do great. I think the tag team match is going to be great. I don't think there's any way that Paige and Wesley win because I don't think they're going to let Saints and Evans
Yeah,
lose.
you're right. You're right.
Especially with it being Ricky's first. I'm just going to call him Ricky because I like that better. Just because I don't think that they're going to let Ricky lose his match. um,
Yeah, exactly. No, I get what you're saying. I
yeah,
do. I do get what you're saying. I'm not gonna argue with that. That's why I was like, yeah, it's just business. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah.
yeah. And the other match announced for next week is another tag team match. It is Fraxium, who we mentioned earlier, retain their titles. No, it is not Fraxium. Sorry, wrong one. The No Quarter Catch Crew faces another set of champions. It is the Hardy Boys making their NXT debut and WWE return. I don't think I ever saw them in NXT or any of their previous run when they were back with the company, but they are back as TNA champions, non-title match against the No Quarter Catch Crew. I think it'll be a really good match. Who do you have winning that match?
I would keep going with the no quarter catch crew. I said it a million times. All right, Matt and Jeff please just ride off into the sunset. Okay, I love them. I loved what they did for the industry, making it what it is today for the tag team division and stuff like that. But there's a time and a place to be like, okay, this is time to hang up the boots. All right, and they're not as clean and crisp and like they used to be. And I get it. I get it. They're old. They're getting older. Blah blah blah. Injuries. I get it. Blah blah blah. Drug abuse. Blah blah blah. I get that. Okay, I get it. But it's not our fault that they're getting older and that they're slowing down and that they drug abused and this, that, and the third. It's not our fault that we have to. Well, it is our fault that we have to sit here and watch you do all that and ruin the TNA tag team division. All right. I just got a problem with them ruining the division right now.
I see that. That you made that very clear. But there's no way they let the Hardys lose this. I think they're going to set up a champion. And look, everything they're doing, it seems like they're going to be doing some sort of NXT, TNA,
yeah.
And they may make it a whole pay-per-view, like a Worlds Collide type pay-per-view. Obviously, they can't call it that because it's already there. Maybe they call it an invasion.
Yeah, what they did with the ECW.
I mean, they call it a couple of different things, but they're getting ready to do this. Like with Oba and Moose, you've got Hardy Boys and Fraxium. They've been talking. This is just the first match. They'll lead to that. I think it's going to end up being a lot of champion versus champion stuff.
But
which
do
I'm
they
okay
merge?
with.
Do they merge the titles?
I don't think so because I think it would just cause way too much confusion.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more of what they used to do for Survivor Series.
Okay, that'd be cool.
And just have the champion versus champion showcase matches from the different brands and do something similar to that.
They bring back
bragging rights. Skin and Deliver show.
They bring back bragging rights.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah,
that would be a good one.
I
just hope they don't make it Stand and Deliver. I don't want them to waste one of the biggest shows NXT has on the NXT TNA crossover. It needs to be a separate show.
Yeah, I know. The one thing I hope they stay away from is bringing back that Cyber Tuesday bullshit. Yeah, I hope they keep away from that.
The Hardys will always and forever be one of his favorite tag teams.
I love them. I do. Don't get it twisted. It's just they got right off at some point, man. I love them. Don't get it twisted.
They will eventually. They haven't been putting in bad matches though. I mean, they've been holding their own.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the Twitter. The Twitter post of the week.
About.
We did mention it earlier. LFG debuted this last Saturday. Legends and Future Greats, kind of akin to a Tough Enough. You've got people anywhere from a week or two to a year or two in different stages of their WWE development. Competing against each other with 4 legendary coaches: Bubba Ray, Undertaker, Mickey James, and Booker T. Did you watch the first episode and what'd you think?
No, I saw the highlights of it. Listen, man, I'll get to the shows. Don't get it twisted. It's just when you got two babies in this house.
No, you're good. I know there's a lot of weather going on. You had a lot of stuff going on.
Oh man, no, those ice storms. All right, I hate ice
Mhm.
storms at this point. Yes, no. Again, listen, top 10, they're really good, but again, at some point in time, it's time to just call it quits. Yeah. But no, we were talking about this earlier. What was his name? I already forgot his name. You call him dipshit.
Well, that I don't call him that.
Well,
Shawn
no,
Michaels calls him that.
Sean called him that.
So
Yeah,
his name is BJ Ray. He's one of
BJ
the contestants on the show.
Yes.
Not my favorite.
He got
if you can
chewed
tell.
out on that show too, from what I saw.
And he's not my favorite even before this because I saw his actual tryout. They had a Roku series about a tryout about a year and a half to 2 years ago, a couple of WrestleManias ago. He was on that, and that's where he got the name dipshit, named by Shawn Michaels at that point. Even before all this, you have probably seen him on the next TV getting put through tables or kicked in the face by Carmen.
Good.
In various backstage scenes, just getting beat up because he has a face you like to punch.
And what is up with everybody saying Bully Ray shouldn't be a coach? Come on, man. This dude's been around forever. I mean, yeah, he's not really. He's got that
Hall of Famer.
He is a isn't he a TNA Hall of Famer too? He's a two-time.
He's a WWE Hall of Famer at least.
Yeah, I know that.
He's in TNA.
Either way.
ECW gets looped in, so I guess it's just really one Hall of Fame.
One, yeah, but still, this guy carried TNA for a little bit as well during the time when he was with Aces and 8. He carried TNA at that point. Listen, go ahead.
It's supposed to be a produced show. That's the point. It's not.
Yes.
It's not a regular wrestling show. It's a competition show.
But just like
any other one, it's supposed to be very produced.
Well, I mean, Michael Cole kind of hit the nail on the head. They're not wrestling; they're storytelling.
Yeah, that's a whole discussion for another episode.
I love it
on here, but we'd be here for another 45 minutes.
Yeah. But I thought it was a good little. It
was a good synopsis for what they are, but
yeah, I thought he was telling the truth. But yeah, no, I like this. It reminds me of Tough Enough. When you said Tough Enough, that's the exact word I was thinking, looking for.
That's the vibes you get.
Yeah,
and look, there's going to be some really good ones there. I mean, you saw the kid that won Hall, I think Hill Hall. Basically, it's Maxine Dupree's boyfriend.
Yeah,
he's on there. Shiloh Hill, which I know is the other guy. So Anthony Luke, and Shiloh Hill were the top two men this week. Both of them guys are going to be really good. Both of them have been on TV though. If you watch Level Up for the past couple of years, a lot of these people that have been there a little while were on that show, so they've got kind of a leg up on the younger competition. You got Evander Holyfield's son on here who is jacked. He is going to be great. I mean, that kid, if he wants to stick with it and wants to do wrestling for a living, he's got it. He's got the look. He's got the attitude.
Yeah, but Holyfield's also got
the name.
Holyfield's got 15 other kids too, so I mean, we can see a lot of Holyfields.
That's true, but this kid, I mean, he's got a lot to it because he's only been there a couple of weeks.
Oh no, that kid's
less than like a month,
and he's
already picking up.
Cardio is incredible.
And I knew the lady's name. It's kind of the same thing I did Camille. I'm blanking on her name, but the little girl who's only been there for about 3 months.
Yeah,
who was in the final with Tasha May Steele.
Okay.
Which, again, Tasha May Steele is going to be awesome. She was the other one. She's a former Olympic athlete. She's going to be really good. She's been on Level Up a few times. She's got a lot. The Holyfield bloodline. There you go. If you need somebody to rival the bloodline, just get all the Holyfield's kids in there.
No, he's got a ton of kids, man. A ton of kids. And one of his other kids is already in boxing. Like, that's how, like, his dad's Holyfield still boxes. Evander still boxes to this day. And he's got a kid that's coming up in the heavyweight division right now. Like, come on, man. That's crazy. You got, like, too many kids. And I think it's like, I think it's like 5 or 6 different baby mamas out of all those kids. Like, oh, good God. He fights to pay child support.
Well, Jay, I think we've already said what Holyfield's doing with his life. He's got 15 kids. We know one thing he's doing with his life.
Oh, he's.
I mean, we
Oh
won't
my
talk about it
god.
here because it's a
Ugh.
family show, but
Oh,
we know one thing he's doing.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. No, that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The deal just
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He's got what, like 6 or 7 as well. Like
he's got a few. Yeah.
he's got a few as well. Yeah. And oof. Boxers, man. Lennox Lewis got kids that are coming up too. We can get into boxing all day. Look, that's a bad thing because I love boxing. All right.
But back to the point, if you like reality shows and you like wrestling, this is good. It's a good mixture of both. Like Stampede said, it is a very produced show, like most reality shows are. It's essentially what this is. I mean, it's if you liked Tough Enough back in the day, you're going to get a lot of the same stuff here that you did there. But it lets you a little bit into the journey of what these kids go through, going through the PC. Trying, I say kids, some of them are older than others. But as I've learned over the past few weeks, I'm old. Been dealing with that in my personal life.
He's going through the midlife crisis now.
Not quite yet. But I got my first coworker at work that, and again, I'll make it quick because I know this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But there's a new kid at work, and we're talking about parents and all that. And he said his mom was born the same year I was, and that's the first time at work I've ever really felt old.
I thought he called you sir.
Get the hell out right now.
I thought he called you sir.
I'm from Alabama. I call people ma'am and sir all the time, so I'll never get offended by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he said his mom was born the same year I was, I'm like, oh, you get the hell out right now.
Oh man, old. That's hilarious.
So I understand with all these wrestlers talking about being old and broken down because now I feel it.
Oh, that's funny.
But no, watch LFG. It comes on Sunday nights on A&E if you can get A&E. Unfortunately, if you have YouTube TV, it does not come on YouTube TV, so you have to figure out the streaming aspect of it, which is why I only got to watch half the show because I didn't figure it out until halfway through the show. Shame on me. So I got to watch the second half of the show, but I'll get to watch it going on. I'll watch it live, give them the clicks on their A&E site, and enjoy the rest of it. Moving on to our matchmaker of the week. Again, we will continue the same theme we've been doing all week or all month. It is Black History Month. So we will go on 4 greats of the wrestling ring. And we will start out with Bobo Brazil up there at the top left, one of the earliest black wrestling pioneers. Bobo Brazil broke racial barriers in the 50s and 60s. He's considered one of the first black world champions holding the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, although it wasn't officially recognized at the time. Unfortunately, he does not get that on there, but definitely a trailblazer. The second man needs no introduction. It is the Junkyard Dog, a massive star in the 80s. Junkyard Dog was one of the first black wrestlers to achieve mainstream popularity. Tons of charisma, great in the ring, and paved the way for a lot of superstars that you have today, much like you have in the bottom left, which is Shelton Benjamin, one of the guys who are the all-time greats going right now, still in the ring for AEW with the Hurt Business. One of the best technical wrestlers on the planet,
ever.
Was in WWE for a long time, was never really utilized to his full potential in WWE, although he held multiple titles, mainly tag team titles. Got to work with Kurt Angle, a former Olympian. He was an amateur wrestler at Minnesota. I know a lot more about him than the others, so luckily I don't have to look down and read for Shelton Benjamin because I know a lot more about him. But yeah, definitely deserves to be in here as one of the greats. And then you have the last guy who I also had to look up, which is Monty Brown, former TNA Impact champion, former NFL player, really early in TNA, set the bar for a lot of their wrestlers, for a lot of African-American wrestlers. A lot of people say he was ahead of his time with some of the moves he was doing, things like that, his athleticism. So very great. Thank you, Sped, for putting this together. But who do you think will win the match?
I'm going with Brazil. All right, on account of he is the first. He's a pioneer. The dude had everything. He was sticky with it, like he was swift, he was smooth. And the crap that he doesn't get, the fact that he doesn't get that NWA world title acknowledgement, is BS. All right, but that was that time. Yeah, look, Monty Brown, you're right. Oh, you're right. Look, all 4 of these guys. When I was doing this, right, and you know how it is, how I do stuff. When I was doing the research, I'm sitting here and I did not know anything about Brazil whatsoever. I'm not gonna lie, but reading his backstory, reading what he had to face when he first broke into the scene and when he first won a championship and then got stripped from him or not really stripped, but like, the acknowledgement got stripped
Yeah.
from him, so but he took it all on the chin because he kept saying one day it's going to get better, and that's what I kept reading about him. One day it's going to get better, and it did. Look at it now. It's not completely better, but look at it now. Numerous of black
It's better than it
champions.
was.
Yes,
There's still
exactly.
a long way to go, but they're leaps and bounds ahead of where they used to be.
Exactly. I mean, like, we've had Big E win the WWE Championship. We had Kofi Mania. We have Bobby Lashley recently win it. It's Junkyard Dog. That was another great guy who could do some stuff. But if you guys have a chance, go read about Brazil. That guy faced a lot of BS for no reason.
Yep. And so who'd you have winning again?
Brazil.
You had Bobo Brazil winning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got him because he's the true trailblazer.
Heck yeah. So before I go, I will thank you, Johnny Wrestling, for coming in. He believes in Tony Khan. I hear you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you joining us, brother. Make sure you check out all 4 of these guys in our matchmaker. Again, I will go over their names: Bobo Brazil, Junkyard Dog, Monty Brown, Shelton Benjamin. I have Shelton Benjamin winning just because I think he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I don't,
Nice.
as great as all the other people were, I'd have to go back and look at some of Bobo Brazil's matches. I actually got to watch the other 2 or other 3 if you include Shelton. Obviously, being back in the 50s and 60s, I don't know that you're going to get to watch a lot of Bobo Brazil matches, but make sure you go look him up, do some research on him, especially if you're a fan of wrestling.
Read his story.
Definitely read his story because it's definitely worth reading. I love doing the research on him. He did go back a little further back than YouTube or anything like that, or a lot of matches on TV. So we didn't get to see a lot of his work, but just reading his story and kind of some of the things that he went through and some of the things he did.
Man.
Definitely amazing. Setting the pace and setting the trail for really all 3 other of these men and all of the people we've talked about all month. As far as just black wrestlers.
Yep.
But I mean, come on. As much as I love Junkyard Dog, he was one of my favorites growing up. Just the charisma and the crowd interaction. He was really one of the first black wrestlers, like I mentioned, to be accepted by the crowd.
Yep.
And just become one of the crowd favorites. And as much as I loved him, you're not going to beat Shelton Benjamin in a technical wrestling match.
No, but Monty Brown though,
Brown's got the power.
He played NFL and then he jumped over to TNA and had a great run there, and that's what set up that run for a lot of
TNA Hall of Fame.
Well, that's what set up a lot of people from the NFL to jump over to pro wrestling. I mean, look at it now. Moose, he was in the NFL for a little bit, and then you had AJ Francis as well was in the NFL. Trick Williams, there's a lot of guys. Braun Breaker,
I don't know. Was he in?
He was with the Ravens. He was with the Ravens for one COVID season. One half.
I mean, hell, even somebody like Brock Lesnar who was in the NFL. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. So, but he went wrestling then NFL and then got kicked out or got cut.
Yeah, but he was maybe that was right. Maybe you're right. Yeah, that's right.
But what I'm saying is, Monty Brown though, that dude was freaking crazy in the ring, and like guys, you're right. He should be in the TNA Hall of Fame, but this one was kind of fun to do, to be honest with you, research wise. And Shelton. I think he won 2 or 3 IC titles, so he does have.
He's got a few championships under his belt.
Yeah, he does have a standalone.
But he was mainly known. He was mainly a tag team wrestler.
Charlie Haas.
Yeah. That's the ones he gets remembered for the most. He won a few other titles, but I mean, I remember him as the world's best tag team with him and being the gold standard.
Yep.
Being a WWE and now still killing it as the tag team champions in AEW.
Yep.
So. Yeah, I mean, he's still doing great work, and I don't think any of the 3 guys can match his technical ability. So I think he outsmarts them and
wasn't he Olympian?
Out wrestles them. I don't know that he was ever an Olympian. He may have been a national champion in wrestling because he was a different weight class than Brock Lesnar. I know he went there with Brock Lesnar at Minnesota.
Yeah,
but they were in different weight classes. He may have won a national championship. I don't remember his accolades in NCAA though. But he was definitely a great wrestler there. I mean,
yes.
And then next week will be our final Black History Month matchmaker, we will actually have a spotlight on black female wrestlers. Since we have done all male wrestlers so far, we do want to show our spotlight on some of the female African American trailblazers as well. So look forward to that. Stay tuned for next week's matchmaker challenge, where we will have all female African American wrestlers to end Black History Month. And look, we're going to keep doing these, with all races, all creeds, men, women, everything, tag teams, just because obviously we've always had the matchmaker series, but and then Stampede mentioned it last week, keeping a little bit more of a historical flavor to it. We'll still have some modern day ones just because it's fun to debate. But we definitely want to be able to teach as well as learn ourselves.
Yep.
So, and with that, I actually have the final word this week. I'm not sure if you knew that, because I know you've been in and out, not looking at the slides a whole lot because you hadn't had a chance. But we will get to the final word, Big Mike. So, Sped, I'll let you say your goodbyes, and I will kick off the final word.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Means a lot. And new sponsorship comes out in March, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you guys for helping us get over. We had 10 clicks, 5 downloads. That's more than what we had on the Monopoly Go one. So actually, we had 27 unique clicks. I'm looking at it right now. 27 unique clicks, 10 downloads, and 5 people actually playing throughout. So thank you guys for actually playing and supporting the channel and supporting the run-in itself. And, pass the word around, man. Help us grow, Either way, thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys next week. Miss you.
All right. And before I go to the final word, I will also say, please remember we are an affiliate of WWEshop.com. So anytime you want to buy anything from your favorite wrestlers, click on the link that will be in the description of this video. Go to WWEshop.com. It does help our channel out. We really appreciate it, and support your favorite wrestlers. But on to the final word with Big Mike. And look, I mean, I've talked about it a few times, and it's come up again this week, the tribalism. We try and try and try. We talk and talk and talk, and I'm about done talking about it, where I don't want to bring it up anymore, but you got to bring it up, because it's still prevalent. It's still as prevalent as it always has been. If you're a fan of AEW, then watch AEW. If you're a fan of WWE, watch WWE. If you're a fan of both, like myself and Sped, I know a lot of you guys in the chat are, watch both. It's okay to be critical. We're not saying don't call out stuff, because as you've heard on this show and many others, we will call out things on both shows that we don't like. We're not saying don't be critical. We're not saying don't, give your opinions about the shows. But if you don't like WWE, don't talk about WWE. There's tons of it online every day. And I follow a lot of the people who do it. And unfortunately, I like some of their content, and some of it just gets bogged down in that. Whether it's WWE, AEW hate, guys, let's just enjoy wrestling. It's WrestleMania season. Revolution's coming up. All In's coming up. You've got great shows on both companies. You've got great wrestlers. You've got great moments on both shows. If you like one, watch it. If you don't like the other, don't watch it. But just quit hating just to hate. Let's leave it. Again, we've said it before. Leave all the hate in 2025. Let's enjoy wrestling. Let's enjoy each other. Let's have good debates about things we like and don't like, which is fair. But leave the hate alone. And I'll leave it at that. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you joining us. We hope you come back next week. Give us a chance. We will have our Elimination Chamber picks next week, where I put the WWE crown on the line. And I will leave it again, Stampede putting it very great. Critique, but in a constructive manner, regardless of the promotion. That's what it is, 100%. Nobody's saying you can't have an opinion, but do it in a positive manner. Let's try to build everything up instead of tearing anything down. The more wrestling there is, the better off we are as a community, as a fandom, universe, whatever you want to call yourselves. Build it up. And let's all enjoy wrestling. And with that, I'll say goodnight. Thank you for tuning in to the run-in. Have a great night.